I just raided my refrigerator and pantry and gathered all of these ingredients. You probably have all or most of these in your house as well. So today, let's make all of the Chick-fil-A chicken dipping sauces. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, I'm Jamie with SavorySaver, and I share gluten-free recipes, tips, tricks, and resources to make your gluten-free lifestyle easier. If you are a regular viewer, then you already know that's what I do here. If you are gluten-free, you are most likely not going to Chick-fil-A because there's not a ton of stuff on the menu that is safe, especially if you're celiac or have a really high intolerance level. If you are not gluten-free, then maybe this is a place that you go on a regular basis or from time to time. In any case, I really like their sauces there, and they sell a lot of them in the stores now. You can get them from a big bottle of it, but they're relatively pricey, and I always have plenty of condiments and sauces in the house, so I don't always want to go get another one. I've looked over the web and I've found 5 recipes that we are going to make today, at-home versions, and today I'm going to make small amounts of them. So this is a great way to just try it and see if you like it without making a big half-cup batch of it or a cup batch of it. Make a small batch. The recipe amounts will be down below, and I will leave the small batch version as well as the full batch version and links to the original recipes or website so you can check them out for yourself. There is a 6th recipe that is a favorite of mine, and I'm going to tell you about that in just a little bit. There are a couple recipes I'm taking a little bit of liberty to, and you should too. Use what you have at home. So the couple swap outs that I'm doing are not big enough that they should make a huge difference, and it's going to save me buying extra ingredients at the store. I'm also not going to make 2 of the dipping sauces that Chick-fil-A serves. They serve a barbecue sauce as well as a garden and herb ranch. Guys, in my opinion, there are very good barbecue sauce options and ranch dressing options for dipping sauces. So I'm going to leave Chick-fil-A to take care of those themselves, because honestly, I'm not going to pick those 2 at the restaurant anyway. So this is what you don't always see while I'm filming because I've cut it out. But like, I'm making 5 recipes today, so I've got all the measuring spoons out. So we'll see by the end of this video how many I'm still using, because I either need to wash them in between lots of things or I'm just going to eyeball recipes. So let's see how this goes. Recipe number 1 is the only one that actually takes a little bit of cooking, if you can call it cooking. We're going to make the Copycat Chick-fil-A Zesty Buffalo Sauce. So the original recipe I saw, of course, said to melt butter on the stove. Who has time for that? Couple tablespoons of butter in the microwave just till it's melted. To our melted butter, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of hot sauce. The original recipe said Frank's Red Hot. I'm going to use this Texas Pete because it's similar and it's already in the packets. I have these in the fridge. Might as well use them. That may be a little shy of 2 tablespoons, so I can add more if I need to. I found one more hidden in the fridge, so let's do that one too. Next, add a 1/4 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1/4 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, 1/8 of a teaspoon garlic powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon white sugar, and give everything a good mix. All right, guys, we're tasting everything at the end, so I'm going to put this to the side and let it come back to room temperature. All right, guys, recipe number 2. Let's make the Chick-fil-A sauce. 4 ingredients: a couple tablespoons of mayo, 1.5 teaspoons of barbecue sauce. I've got my measuring spoon here. We're going to take that and just eyeball everything into the bowl. 1.5 teaspoons of honey, and 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Give everything a good mix. On to the next one. This next one, let's make their honey mustard sauce. Add 2 tablespoons of mayo to a small bowl, 1.5 teaspoons of honey, 3/4 of a teaspoon yellow mustard, 1/4 teaspoon Dijon mustard, 3/4 of a teaspoon brown sugar, and 1/4 teaspoon of lime or lemon juice. I'm using lime because that's what I have. Give everything a mix. and we're ready to move on. All right, guys, this one is not technically a dipping sauce. It is one of their sauces and it comes in a packet. We're gonna make their honey roasted barbecue sauce. I actually really like this as a dipping sauce, and it's good on their sandwiches as well. So let's make that one. To a small bowl, add a 1/4 cup of your favorite mayo, a tablespoon of a sweet barbecue sauce, a tablespoon of honey, 2 1/4 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, 3/4 of a teaspoon lemon juice. I'm actually using lime today because that's what I have. And 1/8 of a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Let's give it a mix. All right, this one's all mixed up. Let's move on to the next. For this recipe, you're gonna need 2 tablespoons of Sriracha sauce. So I've just got this other brand here. It's from Food Lion. So it's a Sriracha style sauce, but it's not necessarily the branded one. To a small bowl, add 2 tablespoons of Sriracha sauce, a tablespoon of honey, a 1.5 teaspoons of soy sauce, gluten-free if needed, of course, 3/4 of a teaspoon of lemon or lime juice. I'm using lime today because that's what I have. Guys, you know this channel, real life struggles as a content creator. I hit pause on the video and didn't unpause it while making the sauce. You're also gonna need a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder in that sauce and 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground ginger. The original recipe called for salt. I don't think it needs it. Give everything a good mix. I baked some chicken nuggets, and now let's go back and test all these sauces. All right, guys, I have cooked off some chicken nuggets to go with those dipping sauces. They are not gluten-free. You guys that watch the channel on a regular basis know that I'm not gluten-free. My wife is, so I don't usually eat gluten-free chicken nuggets just because the cost is so much different than me buying chicken nuggets. I will say we have found some really good brands of chicken nuggets in the frozen sections of the stores. So leave me your favorite brands below if you buy frozen chicken nuggets or tenders. We like Purdue, we like Pilgrim's Pride is a brand we recently found that I really like, I think. We go through 2 or 3 brands depending on what's on sale. If you saw the thumbnail, you guys saw that everything's in nice little bowls. I'm actually gonna use the bowls I mixed them in because there's still a little bit of residual sauce in each of those bowls, so I don't wanna double dip into here in case I really start going to town on some of these nuggets. So I have 1 nugget per sauce. Speaking of sauces, sauce number 6. I have made the Polynesian sauce as well. I did that a long time ago, so I'm gonna link at the end of the video as well as below in the description where you can watch the Polynesian sauce. I did make that recipe up myself by looking at a bunch of recipes and putting them together. A lot of the recipes used a bottled French or Catalina salad dressing for that recipe, and I didn't want to go buy a whole bottle of French dressing just to make Polynesian sauce. So I actually took a French dressing recipe, scaled it down, messed around with it a little bit, and the Polynesian sauce is almost spot on to Chick-fil-A. So if you like the Polynesian sauce, definitely check out that video as well. Okay, sauce number 1, the Chick-fil-A Copycat. And I will say, I don't like Chick-fil-A sauce in general. I don't like any of those. I don't like Zaxby's sauce that much, if you're familiar with Zaxby's. It's just not my favorite sauce. So we're gonna eat it because I made it, but it is not my favorite. So I got my chicken nugget. Let's see. Well, I may actually have to dip it in the other bowl because there's not much in here. There we go, that worked. I do feel it's very, very similar. Still not my favorite sauce. All right, I'm just gonna try some of the sauce by itself. I think it's very similar. I can taste the mayo a little bit. I can taste that barbecue sauce that, you know, kind of mellows out the mayo and the barbecue sauce. They mellow each other out so you don't get a full mouthful of either of those. There's that sweetness of the honey. And honestly, I don't know that I can notice anything from the mustard addition. There probably should be a little bit of tang with that, but I'm not really noticing any. Overall, I think it's very similar. I probably wouldn't make this just because I don't like Chick-fil-A sauce in general. The other sauces I like much better. So let's move on to the next one. Sauce number 2, the honey roasted barbecue sauce. I do really like this recipe, and a lot of the ingredients are similar to Chick-fil-A sauce. So I'm surprised I like this one, but I always liked it out of the packet, and I honestly forget to get it. when I go there because there's a couple others I like better. So let's try this one. This is the one that actually made a little bit more. A couple tablespoons more of the sauce. See, now this one I actually really like. And again, it's similar ingredients. You can still taste the barbecue sauce and the mayo a little bit, but it has more honey in it. So I definitely like the addition of the extra honey. Good sauce, I'd make that one again. Sauce number 3, the honey mustard sauce. Let's go ahead and try that. Honey mustard is one of my okay, sauces that I like. I don't typically get it because I usually get something spicy or something that I can't get anywhere else. And pretty much everyone has a honey mustard sauce. So let's try it. I honestly don't know if I've ever tried Chick-fil-A's honey mustard sauce. And if I have, it's been a long, long time. I like that one. That one's pretty good. Let's try a little bit of just the sauce. You get the creaminess from the mayo. I like that the yellow and the Dijon mustard are both in there because they both have different tastes. So, one's a little more sophisticated maybe than the yellow mustard, but I like the addition of 2. I usually have both those in the fridge. The lemon juice or lime juice in there, I don't really taste it, but that's a good ingredient not to skip because there is honey in here, there's brown sugar in here for sweetness, so that acidity will help balance it out. So overall, I like the honey mustard. Okay, we are down to the 2 final ones, and I'm gonna save my favorite option of the 2 for last. So first, let's try the Zesty buffalo sauce. This is actually the sauce I get the most at Chick-fil-A when I go. I don't actually go very often, but this is the one I go for the most. And I'm gonna try that first because buffalo sauce is a lot of times buffalo sauce. So while I'm excited about it, it's also buffalo sauce. Now, that does have butter in it, and so it did firm back up some. So it may need to be microwaved a little bit if you make this one and then store any of it, because it's not as smooth as when I first made it. So in regards to taste, I think this is spot on. The coloring's the same. The taste is the same. This is probably better because I'm sure the other one is probably canola oil or vegetable oil or something. This is actually butter. Really like that one. Totally would make that again. So this is the sauce I am most excited about. It's the sweet and spicy Sriracha sauce. And this is something that I don't feel is on every menu around. So I like that about it. It also is a little more unique than other options of dipping sauces. So let's give this one a try. Got a little bit left here in the first bowl I mixed it in. That one's really good. Really like this one as well. Spicy from the Sriracha, sweet from that honey in there. The soy sauce gives it a nice umami flavor, and I didn't add any extra salt. I don't think it needs it. While I will say I don't specifically taste the garlic and the ginger, with this being an Asian style sauce, I would not leave it out. I would still make sure I put it in there. I've got a little bit left. Let's try it without any chicken. Yeah, I really think that is a similar flavor profile to the actual Chick-fil-A version. It is a little bit hotter, which means that Sriracha sauce that I got was hotter than what Chick-fil-A uses with theirs. Okay guys, 5 sauces, Chick-fil-A, copycat versions. I had everything in the pantry or fridge except for that Sriracha sauce. I actually had to buy that, and that's only because I was out. I usually do have that in the fridge. Everything was easy to make. Didn't have to cook anything, just mix it up. I cut the recipe way back just to make a couple servings. All of that information will be below in the description. So I will leave the full amount of ingredients if you want to make a full batch, as well as my pared down version, because you may not want a cup of whatever of these lying around in your fridge. Didn't really do a lot of measuring. I kind of eyeballed everything, which is great because that means you can adjust it as needed. What do you think? Do you make copycat versions of recipes at home when you can't go out because you're gluten-free? Do you not? Do you just find alternatives? Guys, leave all those comments below. Leave me your questions. I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I hope to see you in the next video.